is a tearjerker. I had somebody come in the store and ask for this one. That's a man. Oh, what a sad song. So, gosh, I hope Jesus obliged, you know. But anyway, so I'm using a down, down, up, down, up as kind of a bass pattern. Anything in 4 could really work. Kind of down, down, up, down, up. But then what I was doing to kind of make things interesting was throwing in a bass a lot of times. Kind of bass, down, up, down, up, G7, down, up, down, C, down. Oh, so I got to tell you where the basses are. So at the very beginning we got a C chord actually, and chords in boxes a lot of times I mean that to mean that those chords happen together in a measure so that you have the strum pattern. So on the very beginning on the intro, if you wanted to, and I'm sure I didn't do it this way because I didn't kind of get into the flow until later on, because I'm playing with the recording because that way I can make sure my chart's right. So on the C you got the A string on the 3rd fret for your bass. A G/B, which is the 2nd chord that I have listed in the intro, is a G chord, but you would do the A string for your bass note on that. That's a G/B, or a G major chord with a B note in the bass. So you may want to make that A string your bass on that. Normally on a G chord you do low E for your bass. On the A minor you'd have the A for the bass, and then on the D you'd have the D for the bass. Does that cover all the chords we have? I think it does. Yeah. The G7 is kind of weird if you don't know the G7. You do 1st finger on the high E 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A 2nd, 3rd finger on the low E 3rd. I've seen some people do the G with 2nd finger on the A. This is the Mill Bay picture version of G2. Is 2nd finger on the A string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the low E 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. I might also mention that this song did start on Capo 2, and then we did move it to 3rd fret. Now I'm just explaining the intro stuff on Capo 3 because that's where we are. But so on the intro you would have the C with the A bass, and then a down up, G/B with an A bass, that's the A bass, right? And then A minor with an A bass, and then D with a D bass. So that's a little weird, and you kind of get in the flow after that, kind of that G with the low E bass down, up, down, G7 with a low E bass down, up, down, C with an A bass down, up, down, G with a low E bass down, up, down. So you may kind of dig on that. The other weird thing is the G, C, D, and I kind of have this listed near the bottom on the right side of the page, is kind of a down, down, up on the G. And then you could just stay on G, but what Mike's doing is kind of going to the C chord on beat 3 with a downstroke, and then D on the beat 4. So that's a little weird because you got G for 2 beats, C for 1 beat, D for 1 beat. So I'm doing G with a down, down, C with a down, D with a down, but you could also throw in the bass for the G. I think that's the way I was kind of following in the tune. It's kind of G with the low E bass, down, up, C, D is kind of this big push to go into the chorus part. So anyways, that's a little weird getting into that one. If there's a phone in D heaven, let my dear mama talk to G me. Right, then we got that big push, G, down, up, C, to give me one more chance to see, tell her that I G love her. Like, you know, kind of follow the rest of it. So the only other halfing thing is that one at the very bottom where you do G for half, like G, C in the box, and then a C after. That's just a little weird. G, down, C, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, and a big G on the outro. And I did work this from a live version of him playing it, so it was kind of cool because I could kind of watch his hand go by. So this is how Mike's doing it, you know, or at least pretty close. And that G7 change, he definitely does that at the very beginning. Whenever you got the G that leads to a C chord, G7's a great option. So on the line that says, so I'm begging now, please give me one last opportunity, right? You might want to follow that G7 instead of a regular G, and then the C. The flip side of that is if you ever see G7 and you just don't want to worry about it, just stay on G, right? At the very beginning it works just as well, right? Good morning G, just regular G, Jesus. C, yes it's me, a G can. So G7 is really kind of an embellishment of a G chord. So the G chord is still the basic, you know, of a G7 chord. So you could just stay on the G if you wanted to. But cool. Hope that helps. Best of luck. Don't forget to subscribe.